Let's see how you do under pressure. Oh, yeah. I've been wanting this forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Okay. Hey. Yeah. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra, extra. Work with me.
Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome in to another episode podcast to talk about our favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals. Huge shout out to the people that are currently in the chat right now. I appreciate y'all for coming through. Joan, Michael, 1IQ, appreciate you so very much for being here. We got my guy in the chat that says, can this be a positive stream? I don't know. I'm not sure if we're 100% there yet, ladies and gentlemen. We got a lot to dive into today. Do me a huge favor, smack up the like button on your way in. We have a lot to dive into today. Obviously, all surrounding the idea that where's this Arizona Cardinal team at currently right now, right? A lot of things to dive into today. Smack up the like button right now. We are sitting with one small little like. Continue to smack the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Let all the Cardinal fans know that we are currently live. And on top of that, subscribe if this is your first time here on the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. And let me go and just do my quick due diligence. That's going to be none other than BetUS. If you're looking for a brand new sportsbook, BetUS is the way to go. Currently, right now, if you use promo code YouTube150, they will provide you with a 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit and a 125% sign-up bonus on the following two. That's going to be using promo code YouTube150 upon signing up. Of course, bet responsibly and bet within your means. But ladies and gentlemen, let's get started here. Let's talk about the Arizona Cardinals, right? Let's talk about the Arizona Cardinals. Now, if you haven't watched any of my post-game reactions or my post-game shows, this might be a shock to some people, but I'm not happy. I'm not happy one bit, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not happy one bit. But we're going to try to continue to cover this Arizona Cardinal team the best way we know how. And that is going to be obviously try to find a little bright light at the end of the tunnel, right? A lot of Cardinal fans right now are off on this Arizona Cardinals organization, either because of the coaching staff or because of Kyler Murray, or just they don't just think that the Cardinals are going to ever fix it at all, right? So for whatever reason, you're out on the Arizona Cardinals. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. The Cardinals had 3 opportunities outside the bye to fix it and get corrected, and they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it at all. And it's very, very unfortunate. It is, because right now where the Cardinals were standing at, in their bye week, they were 6-4. They were 6-4. And now they're 0-3 outside the bye week. And here's the thing. Does anybody remember that whole big talking point of Cliff Kingsbury crashes and burns at the second half of the season? Not saying that's Kyler Murray's fault, but it's all starting to kind of unravel, and deja vu is now starting to rear its ugly head, ladies and gentlemen. And I am not a fan of what we're seeing here today. I'm only hoping that Jonathan Gannon and his coaching staff is going to be able to get it corrected. I did release a video probably about an hour and a half ago while we're recording or while we're on this live stream. I'm still going to stand on my soapbox. I think it's time that the Cardinals start looking for a backup plan. I think it's time. I think it's time that we start looking for a backup plan moving forward. Now, that's going to hurt some people because some people actually came into this organization or came as a fan because they were fans of Kyler Murray in OU. They were following him, right? And that's how they became Cardinals fans. Well, I think it's time to have that very uncomfortable topic. I think it's time to have that very uncomfortable conversation. Now, I want to start off by saying this because anytime you say anything about Kyler Murray, there is a portion of fans that come out and say, well, this is not all on Kyler Murray. This loss is not, you're right, it isn't. You're 110% correct. This loss versus the Seattle Seahawks is not all on Kyler Murray. You're 110% correct. But as a franchise quarterback, you had 3 opportunities. 3, right? 3 opportunities to get a win. And instead of that, the alternative happens. The absolute worst thing that can happen to your franchise happened outside the bye week. And we're all starting to kind of wonder, are we going to get any wins, right? Are we going to get any wins? The Rams are looking good. They just beat the heck out of the freaking, well, maybe not the heck, but they just beat up on the Bills. The 49ers getting healthier, right? That's the last game of the season. We got the Panthers and the Patriots. That's what we're all hanging our hat on right now. That's what we're all hanging our hat on right now to maybe, hopefully, we can win one out of these next 2 games to hopefully say to ourselves, progress, 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 progress. But I'm not going to lie to you. I think a backup plan is what this organization needs to start thinking about moving forward. Now, 2025, can Kyler Murray be the starting quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals? Yeah, he can very well be, because that contract, it might be very, very hard to move off of, right? Now, I'm starting to think to myself, right, the whole Sean Payton situation. Does everybody remember the whole Sean Payton sweepstakes, right? Is it because we couldn't afford Sean Payton? Yeah, that probably could have been a reason, right? But another reason probably was because Sean Payton probably didn't want Kyler Murray. He probably didn't. And of course, Jonathan Gannon comes from a winning organization in the Philadelphia Eagles, and he was willing to say, I develop players. I'm not going to do away with anybody. I develop players. I am willing to take on this task. Well, Jonathan Gannon, you are tying yourself to Kyler Murray right now. You're tying yourself to Kyler Murray right now. And it's not a bad thing, but you got to be very, very careful with the way that you handle your career here. Because although we're hearing all the things that Jonathan Gannon has to say, obviously post-game show, he's been backing up his franchise quarterback, and you don't expect anything less, right? Because he is the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. The culture is established the way that it is. He's going to come to the aid of Kyler Murray, and as he should, right? As he should. Do I want him to treat this a little differently? Of course, but that's only selfish reasons, right? I want to hear more accountability. I want to hear more answers than just taking the blame. That's what I would love to see, right? But I think we all just need to come to the realization the Seahawks are just a better franchise. They're a better organization. And guess what? Mike Macdonald, a rookie head coach, has now swept our year 2 Jonathan Gannon, right? And I'm nowhere even close to even talk about getting rid of Jonathan. I still do think that Jonathan Gannon's got really good traits. I think he's building something in terms of culturally. But you also got to keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, if you keep losing, or if losing keeps occurring, the culture that you're trying to build, people will probably start soon pointing fingers, right? Now, let's dive into what Jonathan Gannon had to say yesterday about this loss, right? This is what Jonathan Gannon had to say about this loss against the Seattle Seahawks.
Best ball there. I got to find some answers to get us going a little bit, because we haven't played great here the last couple weeks. So that falls on me. So got to go back to the drawing board tomorrow, get these things corrected, put them in better position, and we got to win a game, So I thought we spotted them a lot of points there, but then we battled back. I appreciate their effort. That was good. We battled back there, had a couple chances to even cut the lead a little more, but ultimately didn't get it done. So give them credit, and I got to do a better job.
Give them credit. Man, have we heard that? I haven't heard that in a while. Got to give them credit, and that comes with losing and losing and losing and losing some more. Got to give them credit. You got to give them credit. We heard a lot of Cliff Kingsbury saying that as well. You got to give them credit. We're always giving credit. This organization is always giving credit to the opposing team, because we just can't get it done. We just can't get it done, and it's very unfortunate. It really is. I don't know if this is a culture thing, and I mean Arizona in general. I don't know. We all know that we don't have the best home field advantage. We know that for darn sure, right? There's a portion of Cardinal fans, and I'm not going to come out here and say, oh, you need to spend your money and fill up that State Farm Stadium. No, I'm not there. Yeah, this organization needs to prove that you're going to give us a consistent winning product, right? And that's the way I think. Maybe that's the way that everybody else thinks as well, because I'm not going to lie to you. There was a lot of Seahawks fans in State Farm Stadium. They were roaring. When good things happen to the Seahawks, they were loud. They made it apparent that they were there. So home field advantage is non-existent for the Arizona Cardinals fan base, for the Arizona Cardinals in State Farm Stadium. Home field advantage, especially when you're playing a team that travels very well, like the 49ers, like the Eagles, the Seahawks, any of these teams that have winning culture that is constantly in the mix of potential playoffs, they're going to travel well for their team. The problem is that the Arizona Cardinals right now are sitting in a year 2 of rebuild, and we still have all the big questions out there. And I don't want to have this big question about our quarterback, but you got to start addressing the elephant in the room, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, the elephant in the room is Kyler Murray. Can he get it done? This is exactly what Kyler Murray had to say about this loss in Week 14 versus the Seattle Seahawks. And let me mention this again, getting swept by a rookie head coach in Mike McDonald. Just want to add that. This is what Kyler Murray had to say about the loss.
I feel like I let the team down today. Self-explanatory, can't do that.
How much weight do you feel under pressures every week, every year?
No, I'm super confident when I go to sleep at night in this room, in this locker room, and then the guys that I play football with. I don't no worry or fear when I step on the field with them at all, and I mean that wholeheartedly.
So, a lot of things to unfold, right? He even came out and said, I feel like I let the team down, right? In that very first 3 or 4 or 5 seconds of that clip, I feel like I let the team down. I think we can agree. And I'm not trying to be a hard ASS. I'm not trying to, but you got to be real. You got to be real at the end of the day. We spotted them 14 points. 14 points when we have a defense out here that all they can try to do is stop the opposing team. And they've done flashes here and there, but we know what this defense is. We know what this defense is, right? They will give you some great stuff here and there. And we were averaging 3 to 5 sacks a game at one point. We were averaging about a turnover or 2. But guess what? Somehow, some way, that luck is going to run out. We're still playing very sloppy. Paris Johnson Jr. is starting to, what people are saying out there, starting to regress, right? Penalties being called on him, not looking the great. This team is not functioning like a team that's progressing in the right direction, right? Now, of course, if we were sitting at 2-1, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I mean, 2-1 outside the bye week, of course, right? We're sitting at 0-3. 0-3 with not just one chance, not just 2 chances, 3 chances to try to make your season survive a potential NFC West race. Guess what? We got 4 games left in the season. And for the most part, this already checked out fan base is even more checked out because you couldn't get the job done. Kyler Murray says he feels like he let down this team. You might have let down a lot more. You might have let down the state of Arizona. All we can say to ourselves right now is go ASU. That's the only thing that makes us happy right now because even the Suns are going through some things right now. It's just typical Arizona sports fashion in a nutshell. And it pisses me off day in and day out. And here's what we do. And I'm going to put this on me as well. We need to be better. We, as a fan base, we need to start holding this organization more accountable. We got to stop talking about year 1 rebuild or year 2 rebuild. Oh, we didn't expect this. We didn't expect that. Oh, we didn't expect them to be 6 wins anyways. Oh, they got 6 wins. Cut it out. You're only enabling this organization to constantly be rebuilding 6 out of the 5 years. Be good for 1 or 2 years and then constantly rebuild. That's what you're doing. You're enabling this organization to continue to give you SHIT product year in and year out because they're calling it a rebuild. Stop. It needs to end some way or another. I get this organization or this state of Arizona. It's got a lot of snowbirds. It's got a lot of people from different parts of the world coming in here and reaping the benefits of our wonderful weather, right? But for the actual Cardinal fans that are actually there, and I'm not saying go out there and spend your hard-earned money. No, I'm not telling you to buy jerseys. No, but start lighting a fire under the ASS of these damn leadership within this organization. Don't spend your hard-earned money. Don't try to say, oh, I go to every single game. I'm a diehard Arizona Cardinal fan. I would rather take somebody that comes out here and tries to actually make a word for themselves as opposed to giving Michael Bidwell more money, putting more money in his pocket. Try to create something. Try to start giving more accountability to this damn organization that does this to us year in freaking year out. It pisses me off year in, year out. let's listen into what Jonathan Gannon had to say about Kyler Murray's critics, because Kyler Murray's got a lot of critics right now, ladies and gentlemen. He's got a lot of critics, and of course, I'm one of those critics as well. And I'm proud to say that I'm not going to let this slide. I'm not. Now, is there going to be changes in 2025? I don't know. I'm not Monty, but if I don't have any sliver of potential of voice out there, I'm going to let it be known. There should be criticism all around this organization. I don't care if we win 7-8 games. Okay, let me reframe that back. If we win 8 games and we're in those other 2 games, but we lose, then it might be different. But if we constantly get blown out, or if we don't sweep the Patriots or the Panthers, all hell is going to break loose. Let me just tell you that. Let's go on to Jonathan Gannon and what he had to say about Kyler Murray's critics out there.
Guy moving forward, he is capable of being
I don't have to say anything to him. He knows that. The critics is the reason that we're playing meaningful games in December right now. He's a huge piece to that. So that's what I would tell them.
So real quick, right? This is lip service. This is Jonathan Gannon, head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, coming out here and saying, backing his franchise quarterback, right? And here's the thing. I want to be very clear. I'm not mad at the fact that he's coming in here to aid his franchise quarterback, right? And I'm saying his. You're tying your name to his success. I want you to be fully aware of that, Jonathan. Again, you are tying your name to his success unless you do something in terms of a backup plan in 2025. You and Monty are tying your name to his success. Just want to put that out there. But I'm not upset about him coming to the aid. But let's not ignore the elephant in the room, ladies and gentlemen. And the elephant in the room right now is the reason why the Cardinals are in this state, in the situation. We were 6-4 at one point. Is because we were on the 4-game winning streak, but you can't ignore the fact that the 49ers had so many injuries, right? There were so many injuries for the Los Angeles Rams, and then the Seahawks had a couple road bumps here and there, right? This NFC West was the best opportunity for the Cardinals to strike, and we failed. We failed because we can't close out seasons like we haven't been able to close out seasons for years. Yes, Kyler Murray is attributed to why we're playing meaningful games in December. Yes, you're right. I will give you that. But you can't also ignore the elephant in the room. The NFC West this year is weak. Weak. We got to win from the 49ers because they didn't have their kicker. We got to win from the Rams because they were absolutely decimated with injuries. We got Tua Tagovailoa, his first time back. We beat him by 1 point. We had a great defensive battle versus Justin Herbert in that Chargers game. But if we play the Chargers right now, I don't think we're going to beat the Chargers. I really don't. I really don't. We are regressing. We are going the opposite way of what we were excited about leaving 2024. I mean, more people were excited than I was. I'm not going to lie to you. I was just like, Kyler Murray comes back in 8 games and wins you 3 games. That's not good enough for me. But I told myself, different offense, different footwork. Everything's going to be fine. We have a full year in 2025. Everything should be working out good, right? But in the back of my mind, I'm like, you win 3 out of 8 games, that ain't good. You're a franchise quarterback, that ain't good. But I digress, right? We're also not going to talk about the NFC West and how weak it is. No? Okay, we're going to ignore that. Got you, Jonathan Gannon. Gotcha. All right, let's go and shout out here to my guy Michael with a $10 donation. Appreciate you, Michael. Thank you so very much. We got love from a Seahawk fan, man. I've noticed that a lot of Seahawks fans have been visiting my channel for the past, obviously, week or 2 or 3 weeks because we've been, battling it out for the NFC West. Thank you for all the support. Even if you guys are trolling me, even if you guys are coming in here and laughing, saying we suck, I appreciate you guys for taking the time and coming on here and obviously showing some love like my guy Michael is. Appreciate you. He says, hey, Mike, GG's, brother. This is the second Cards collapse after a bye week. Do you think players aren't talking? Do you think players aren't taking the bye week seriously and partying because of relaxed nature of Cliff/Jonathan? No, I don't think it is. No, I don't think so. I think Jonathan Gannon holds a tight ship. Like, if I'm going to be fair, I think he's holding it, or at least he's trying to. I think he's trying to hold a tight ship, and I think he's actually a pretty darn good head coach. Now, would I rather have the success in year 1 like you guys are having with Mike McDonald? Of course I would have, right? But of course, as a Cardinal fan, we're used to the abuse. We're used to getting beat. We're used to taking this and accepting whatever scraps we can get, right? So I don't think this is a Jonathan Gannon issue. Could he have been a fault as to why the Cardinals didn't win the Vikings game? Yeah, of course. But there was also other things that the Cardinals, as to why we lost that Vikings game, right? At the end of the day, I always go back to that last drive in the Vikings game. We had a minute and 11 seconds with 3 timeouts, and we couldn't convert a first down. All we needed was a field goal. We didn't need a touchdown. We needed a field goal. That's all we needed, and we couldn't do it. So, yes, Jonathan Gannon could be blamed. The coaching staff could have made some bad decisions. Yeah, of course. But we still had an opportunity to win that game versus the Vikings, and we didn't. Started off good. It was 19-6 at one point. Allowed that to completely flip on our heads, right? We know what happened to the Seahawks game the very first time. Very defensive battle. Kyler Murray throws a pick six, and the rest is history from there, right? So hearing Jonathan Gannon come out to aid Kyler Murray and saying he's one of the main reasons or a huge reason, okay, I'll give you that. But can we also acknowledge that the NFC West isn't good? No? Okay. Now, I want to talk about a couple things here. I got a couple more clips here from Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray was asked about the INTs, right? The 2 interceptions. How do you feel about getting past those INTs, right? Like, and this is what Kyler Murray had to say in terms of pretty much him saying, well, it's not the first time I throw, interceptions in a game. You have to bounce back, right? But let's let Kyler Murray talk.
What did you see on each of the interceptions?
It's on me. Just put it on me.
How hard is it to just kind of shed that and move past that in a moment like that?
Yeah, I have to. It's not. I've played a lot of football. Those aren't the first picks I've thrown. I had to bounce back and come back and win a game. Like that's done it plenty of times. Obviously, we kept fighting till the end. Just ran out of time. Didn't make enough plays. They made more plays than us. Again, like I said, you put that on me. We will be better next week.
I don't say we're fighting to the end and then we ran out of time. Do you guys realize the Arizona Cardinals always say that? Like, there's always some sort of little trophy that they want to take away from these games. Guys, fans of this organization, I mean the Cardinals, if this is a 2-minute drill and you're down by more than 8 points, the defense is going to play soft. How do we not understand that? And that's why I constantly always say it's garbage time yards, garbage time points. We were battling at the end, bruh. Okay, well, Jonathan Gannon didn't pull you out, but guess what? Jonathan Gannon never pulls you out. Never. He never pulls you out. It doesn't matter if we're getting obliterated, because what's more important is for what the stats of Kyler Murray is going to look like. Because guess what? We got a drive or two under garbage time. Kyler Murray can give you another 60, 70 yards to go ahead and put that on his stat sheet. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. He never gets pulled out. Even if we're getting obliterated, he doesn't get pulled out. Because why? The defense plays soft. We can come out to ourselves and say we kept battling. We kept battling. We kept fighting. There was never a chance that the Cardinals, at least myself, felt like we were going to win this freaking game, other than when we scored a touchdown that first drive with Michael Wilson. That's it. That was the only chance that I felt confident that this Arizona Cardinal team was going to win this game, was when Michael Wilson scored that touchdown. That's it. Ever since that, it was an absolute collapse because we spotted them 14 points, and we know the history. We know the history. And guess what? The media asked Kyler Murray about that interception. Did you see Ernest Jones? This is what Kyler Murray said. Where is it at? 1 second. This is what Kyler Murray said.
You see Jones there?
Yeah, I saw him.
You thought because you looked.
Again, you can just put it on me. Put it on me.
Let me play it again. Did you see Ernest Jones there?
You see Jones there?
Yeah, I saw him.
You saw him and then you throw the ball?
Again, you can just put it on me. Put it on me.
You saw Ernest Jones there. Now, let me say this. Ernest Jones, what he did was an absolute masterclass, ladies and gentlemen. Ernest Jones did a masterclass because it was typical Madden. Madden, you know when you playing those really hard people in Madden, when you try to be really good because you want to be a good Madden player and you play online like 2 or 3 times and then you lose like 3 or 4 of those times when you only play 3 times because there's some really crazy Madden players. What they did was they absolutely baited Kyler Murray to throw that ball. Ernest Jones said, "I'm going this way." Nope, lied, went this way. You saw him there. Why would you force the ball to Marvin Harrison Jr.? And guess what? The second one was also to Marvin Harrison Jr. And here's the thing. The throw, Jonathan Gannon said that's where the ball should have gone. And I agree. That's where the ball should have gone. But the split-second decision that it took for Kyler Murray to throw the ball made a big difference. And on top of that, the throw made a big difference. If it was more of a ball, like a rocket ball, as opposed to a loft ball, we probably could have had different results. Maybe. But I agree. I agree. That's where the ball should have gone. But the split second that it took Kyler Murray to go back up, step back, come back up, doing a little bit of a fidgety thing that he did, then lofts the ball and waits for that safety to come up here and get that interception. It was back-to-back plays with interceptions. Back-to-back. This was not a good performance by Kyler Murray. Was this all Kyler Murray's fault? No, it wasn't. It wasn't. No, the defense didn't come out and step up, and that's the truth. But you did spot him 14 points. By the time you blinked your eyes, it was 17-7. Does this organization have it within them to fight back from a 10-point deficit? Do they? Obviously, not consistently, right? Obviously, not consistently. So here we are, right? Here we are. Kyler Murray comes out and says, "Yeah, I saw him."
You see Jones there?
Yeah, I saw him.
You thought he was, because you looked.
Again, you can just put it on me. Put it on me.
Emotional damage.
You saw him. And then we still decided to throw it. All right, let me give a shout out here. Michael C. with a $10 donation. Appreciate you, man. He says, K1 is part of the slide, but Petzing's system is the issue, the offense. O-line and wide receiving core is a bigger problem. Any quarterback would struggle in the setup. I disagree. And I'm not sure if you do look at the film. Look at the film. Or if you don't have access to the All-22, and that's fine, you have to pay the NFL Plus. There is a breakdown on Kurt Warner's page on YouTube. Look at the breakdown. Now, he only did one specific game as far as I know. There are plays to be made. But as you are as a quarterback, we got to stop blaming everything around. You just have to. You have to stop blaming it. You have to. 2 or 3 weeks ago, this was Drew Petzing's fault. 4 years ago, 3 years ago, this was Cliff's fault. Open your eyes, ladies and gentlemen. Open them. This offense can work in the NFL. It can. This is a pro-style offense. I promise you, you can win games. Guess what? We have 6 wins. Now, it doesn't help that the Cardinals beat themselves all the time, right? Interceptions, penalties. Of course, those hurt your team that is not already a good, consistent offense, and they were supposed to be the bright spot. Within this year, and they're not. But you can't sit here and tell me this wide receiving core can't do. Did you see that catch from Michael Wilson? Did you see the last catches of Michael Wilson for the past 2 or 3 weeks? He's a very good, suitable wide receiver. He is. I'm not saying he's a wide receiver 1. I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr. will develop to be wide receiver 1, in my personal opinion. I get there's a lot of critique in his game. That's fine. But those interceptions weren't on Marvin. The whole talking of what we were talking about in the Vikings game, he's 5 for 12, Mike. A lot of those throws that were thrown to him were not on Marvin. Watch the film. Bad decisions by your franchise quarterback will get you burnt. That's the way that it is. This is 6 years. Who else are we going to blame? Yes, has the offensive line struggled since we've seen Jonah Williams come in here? Yeah, of course. But Kyler's still been dealing with one of the best offensive lines before. And he's still been struggling. It's not like it's just one game. Come on. It's not like this is one game sample size. This is 6 years. And 12... 6-4... Wait, so let me math. And in 13 games in a season. 13 games in a season already in 2024. This is not a 1-year sample size, ladies and gentlemen. This is 6 years and 13 years in the 2024 season. And guess what? Our offense can't get it right. Now, let's look at the opposite side of the coin, right? Let's look at the opposite side of the coin. Are you saying Kyler Murray can win you games? Are you saying Kyler Murray's elite? Are you saying Kyler Murray can win you the Super Bowl? What? What is your stance? You can win you games? Is that where you're at? Okay. Well, I'm looking for a quarterback that is eventually going to get me a Super Bowl. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a quarterback that's going to consistently get me wins. I'm looking for a quarterback that's going to consistently try to win that division. And guess what? We haven't won the division in 6 freaking years. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. How much more do we need? How much? Now, I'm not sitting here saying trade him. I'm okay with Kyler Murray starting in 2025. I really am. But we need a contingency plan. We need a backup plan to say, hey, Kyler Murray, whip it up. Shape it up. Because the decisions that you're making, the dink and dunk, is not a decision from Petsing. Is there some plays that are underneath? Yes. There is. There's some design plays that are all the wide receivers or all the receiving weapons are underneath. Yes, but look at the film. You got plays that are outside the sticks. This organization or this offense is only able to do everything underneath. That's why everybody was so shocked when we had a 40-plus bomb to Michael Wilson. Nobody was expecting that. What? Michael Wilson, he can catch a ball? What? I thought these wide receivers couldn't do it. You got to make the right read. Everything's got to work out perfectly in order for these guys to get open. True. Yeah, I agree. But there was also a decision that was made from Kyler Murray on 3rd and 2. Does anybody remember that? And I'm talking about the Chad Ryland missed field goal. The 3rd and 2, Kyler Murray came out and said, yes, hindsight, I should have probably threw it to Elijah. I probably should have thrown it to Greg Dortch. Kyler Murray said that out of his own mouth. Instead, he saw a one-on-one man coverage. That wasn't one-on-one, but maybe at the time it was a man coverage and decided to go for the home run ball. Why? Because he got greedy. This is what we've been seeing from Kyler Murray year in and year out. It could be 3rd and 1, and he will chuck that ball into the other side of the moon. Because why? Decision making. It's not there. It's not progressing. It's not getting better. What aren't we getting? What aren't we understanding? The 3rd and 2, if you convert that first down, we potentially could have gotten a touchdown. Now, yes, Chad Ryland, bad Chad Ryland. You should have got that field goal. You should have got it, right? I agree. If you hit that, we're probably talking about a different game.
Shame.
Right? Shame on you.
Shame. Shame.
But at the end of the day, Chad Ryland has also helped us win multiple games as well. You're going to have bad games. Now, has he had a couple bad games already? Yeah, Chad Ryland has been a little inconsistent. That's the truth. That's the truth. I'll give you that. But you're still talking about a player that's taking about 18, 19, 20% of your cap, and you expect him to elevate this organization. And we haven't seen it. Let me get to Illa Dre with the super chat. What's up, Illa Dre? Says, Dobbs never looked this bad last year. What people want to say about Dobbs, in the sample size, I believe there was something floating around with Josh Dobbs. There was something floating around with, like, they compared the first 6 games or 7 games this year compared to last year, Josh Dobbs and Kyler Murray. The numbers were the same or similar. I kid you not. They were similar. Josh Dobbs, what he did for us in the first 6 or 7 games, and I forgot what it was. It might be 6, 7, or 8 games, but it was the sample size of what Kyler Murray did this year compared to last year. And guess what? The numbers were almost similar. You get paid $200 million to be better than a Josh Dobbs. Now, Josh Dobbs doesn't have a starting quarterback or starting role. That's the truth, right? He probably shouldn't have a starting role, right? Okay, but Kyler Murray, we need you to get better, and start learning from the mistakes that we are dealing with. What are the mistakes? The same things we've been talking since 2019. Nothing's changed. Nothing has changed. You're going to come out here and sit here and tell me, It's my bad, right? My bad.
What did you see on each of the interceptions?
My bad.
It's on me. Just put it on me.
My bad.
How hard is it to just kind of shed that and move past that in a moment like that? You see Jones there?
Yeah, I saw him.
You thought he was...
You saw him. You saw him. So I'm not here to come out here and say, oh, Kyler Murray, you can't be our QB for 2025. No, I just want this organization to start thinking of the future. Think of the future. Start coming out with the plan. Because I almost promise you, we're probably not going to win the division. Guess what? Brock Purdy, he's probably going to get paid, right? And I was already puffing out my chest. Oh, my God, the 49ers, man. The 49ers are in shambles. They're going to pay Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy has accomplished a lot more than Kyler Murray has. Changed my mind. Brock Purdy has accomplished a lot more than Kyler Murray has. And I thought we were going to have a resurgence of Kyler Murray this year. And guess what? We're just getting let down every single year. Year in, year out. Nothing's changing. Nothing changes. We're going to fire another offensive coordinator because he doesn't fit your scheme or doesn't fit the model of what you feel like Kyler Murray can accomplish. His ceiling. Well, we can all acknowledge that the ceiling of what Kyler Murray has with the abilities that he has, there's quarterbacks in this league that only can dream of what Kyler Murray can do. They can only dream of it in their eyes or in their dreams. They can only dream of it. Most quarterbacks can't do what Kyler Murray can do. That's facts. But you give a little pressure. You hit him a couple times. You make him see ghosts. He unfolds in the biggest games possible. And it's just not this game. It's 3 games outside the bye week. You want to throw more salt into injury? Throw in the Green Bay Packers game because you had an opportunity to take the West in that Green Bay Packers game as well. And he's failed to get you a lead in this division. The 4-game winning streak was wonderful. The 4-game winning streak might have been the ceiling of this Arizona Cardinal team. Very well might have been. Where do we go from here, right? Cardinals might win 7 games, might win 8 games. But if you have a quarterback that you don't have faith that can win you the division year in and year out, what are we optimistic about? Another crash and burn next year? Another 6-7 win season? Is that what we're looking forward to? We need a contingency plan. We need something to sit to ourselves and say, all right, we're developing this guy. We're developing this guy right here, and I think we're going to be fine, right? Right now, there's no hope. Hope is gone. Bye-bye. Hope is gone. You can win 7-8 games, like I said, and you can wrap it up in a bow tie and say progress, all you want. But you got beat down by a much superior team with Geno Smith and a rookie head coach. Let it sink in, ladies and gentlemen. If it hurts, let it hurt more. Because I want you guys to understand that this team right here has failed the state of Arizona. Absolutely has. You can't start off at 6-4 and collapse the way that you're collapsing right now. Now, Jonathan Gannon came out and said this is all on him. Good. It is all on you too, right? It's on everybody. It's on everybody in this organization that's not able to get it fixed and not able to get it right. How many times have we been talking about this offense? How many times? We've been talking about this offense for weeks. Weeks. And it still hasn't been fixed. We're heading into week 15. Guess what, guys? We got 4 games left, and the biggest problem is still the offense. Is still the offense. Open your eyes, ladies and gentlemen. We are limited to what we can do because Kyler Murray's not making the right decisions. That is costing us games. It's not all on him. I want to say this again, and I'll say it for the people in the back that are just waiting for me to say this is all on Kyler. This is not all on Kyler. This is not all on Kyler, and I'll say it again. This is not all on Kyler. He's not the reason why we lose, but he's also not the reason why we win. Consistently. Because we don't win consistently. At this point right now, Panthers, Patriots, two teams that are rebuilding just like the Arizona Cardinals are, right? Just like the Cardinals are. They're rebuilding. You got to win these games. You got to win these games. If you don't, this only gets louder. This only gets worse for you. Honestly, you set yourself in a 0-3 hole. You need to win both these games. I don't care if you beat the Panthers and lose to the Patriots. I don't care if you lose to the or beat the Patriots and lose to the Panthers. No, you need to win both games. You want to show a level of competitive fight that you're still fighting for this organization and fighting for these win both. Win both games that you should be winning. Michael C., what's up, man? Appreciate the super chats. He says, Kyler's struggles stem from O-line issues. Paris Johnson's rough game, 3 holding, and poor protection left Kyler Murray under constant pressure. Well, let me ask you this. If you don't have a quarterback that is so dependent, or let's reward it like this. So Kyler Murray needs to have everything perfect, right? Kyler Murray needs to have everything perfect in order for him to succeed, correct? Can we all agree Kyler Murray isn't elite, right? Not elite. Top 10? I'm not even going to say that anymore. Unless you show me consistency, right? Can we all agree? Guess what? We are in a very, very rare occasion where we're actually going to have upwards of 90 plus, $100 plus million to spend in this year's free agency class, even if Kyler Murray's taking up a chunk of that, right? We're going to be in a very, very, usually teams are not in this situation where you're paying your quarterback now. That's probably because when we signed Kyler Murray, we got out in front of it, right? We got in front of it. He's still getting paid a lot of money, but with the years that kind of accumulate, with all the players that we ended up cutting, all the dead money ends up going. The Cardinals are now with $100 million, right? So you're telling me you need to have a perfect plan for Kyler Murray to succeed, correct? Okay. But isn't that any other quarterback, right? Like, okay, but you're still taking up 18 million or 18%, 17% of this cap, right? Don't you expect more from your franchise quarterback? And guess what? This can be 3 or 4 plays. Like that's what football comes out to. Believe it or not, it could be 3 or 4 plays where Kyler Murray decides to either step up in the pocket, doesn't throw himself on the floor, and I mean give himself up, or when he runs out of the pocket, throw the ball away instead of running out of bounds and then lose 2 or 3 yards, right? He's taking up a portion of this cap space. You're telling me if Monty Ossenfort can't get this right, and the history shows that Monty Ossenfort's free agency class are not that great. So we're going to be back in the same situation because Kyler needs everything perfect, right? Do you understand that Kyler Murray was one of the most protected quarterbacks before we hit the bye week? He was one of the most protected quarterbacks. The Seahawks are a very, very good defensive line. Oh, man, they are wreaking havoc. They got it right. They figured it out. So what you're saying is we can beat teams by getting lucky or bad teams, is what you're saying, right? We can't beat the good teams, even when you're paying Kyler Murray that top tier level. I don't agree. I think Kyler Murray's got the weapons to win games. I think Kyler Murray's got the offensive line that can help protect. They're not the best offensive line. That's the truth. But, I mean, these are decisions that are being made. Was he pressured? Yeah, actually, he was actually pressured when he threw that ball over to Marvin. But even then, that was still kind of a clean pocket. Like that was still the throw was bad in that second interception. That throw was not a good throw. He waited a half a second longer to throw that ball, in my opinion. The ball should have gone to Marvin. That's the truth. But it should have got there earlier. Kyler can't function under pressure. He's not elite. You need everything perfect around Kyler. I don't see it. A lot of optimism over there, Michael. A lot of optimism. Hopefully you're right. We got Luis in the chat saying, it's sad, bro. I want Kyler to do good, but he can't. It's been more bad than good his whole career. I'll give him one more year if he gets better from now. I mean, we might be living in a world that we kind of have to. You know what I mean? I don't think we're fortunate enough, unless the Cardinals make a crazy, crazy decision to just eat the contract and trade him away. I don't think the Cardinals are going to do that. I don't. But you got to look at it. You got to look at this as a whole. In 6 years, Kyler Murray's got a losing record as a franchise quarterback. He's 34, 43, and 1. 34, 43. That means he's won 34 times, lost 43 times, and he tied once. I agree with you, Luis. If you haven't been rocking with my channel, I've been saying this for a bit. I want Kyler to succeed. I don't want to draft another guy. I don't want to go for that. But now it's kind of getting to the point where we're still seeing the same issues over and over again. If you don't have a quarterback that's going to be able to elevate your team, then why are you paying him as much as we are? Why? We're stuck. That's probably we're stuck. We're stuck here. But maybe going after a veteran quarterback, bringing in somebody in here other than Clayton Tune. I promise you, if Clayton Tune was not the only quarterback on this roster, people would be calling to see a backup quarterback. I promise you. If Josh Dobbs was there, we would be hearing people calling to see Josh Dobbs. If Desmond Ridder was here, people would be calling to see Josh Dobbs. Now, I'm sorry, Desmond Ridder. Now, are they a better candidate than Kyler? No, I don't think so. I don't think they're better quarterbacks. I don't, right? I think the ceiling is much higher for Kyler Murray to be better than both those guys. But the Cardinals knew what they were doing. They kept two quarterbacks. Clayton Tune, we saw that small dosage of him. I don't think anybody believes in what Clayton Tune can do, right? Nobody does. The Cardinals knew exactly what they were doing. They didn't go after a Justin Fields. They didn't go after a Russell Wilson. They didn't do it. They said, nah, we're not trying to strike up a quarterback controversy, ladies and gentlemen. We want to see what this guy can do. They're all in. They're all in on Kyler. But I want JG to be fully aware. You give him another year, this is your job on the line too. None of this, year 3, ladies and gentlemen, we're seeing progress year 3. None of this. I want him to succeed too. The inconsistencies is rearing their ugly head. And it's always going to be like this. It is. Excuse me, I don't have hope. I'm sorry. The hope is gone. Hope is done. Hope has killed me. There's no hope for me in this organization right now with the way that things are running. There's not. Super Bowl is what I'm looking for. And I don't think we're going to get that with the current state at quarterback right now. One playoff appearance, and we didn't even belong in the same field. This is the reason why we're seen as little brothers in the NFC West. And this is why everybody in the NFC West wants to see us do good, right? They want to see the little brother win a little bit, right? Or when we're on top, nobody cares. Nobody believes that we can consistently continue this role. Nobody cares. Same thing over and over again, year in and year out, ladies and gentlemen. But let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go and open up the phone lines here. I want to hear from you guys. For the people out there that weren't able to get onto last night's show, there's an opportunity here. The phone lines are open. Click on the link right there. It's posted on the YouTube side. If you're watching us on X/Twitter, you do got to go onto the YouTube side. By the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, the link has been posted. Come on in if you want to go ahead and jump on in. I would love to hear Michael C. If you want to jump on in and chop it up, would love to hear it. Link has been posted right there. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you have faith? Do you not have faith? Do you have hope? Do you not have hope? Let me know everything here in the comments below. All right. We got my first guy here in the chat, Joan. What's up, Joan? You are live on the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. Talk to me, brother. How you feeling?
To be honest, I don't feel that good about last night's game, even though I didn't watch it at all. But When I saw the score this morning, I knew exactly what happened. I knew it was just the offense need to get better. You said 14 got it through 2 picks, and it was equals to 14 points.
Yeah.
Take those two 40 the 2 INTs away, we win the game.
Yeah.
It's actually scary. And to be honest, I know I might sound harsh towards Skyler, and well, most of the whole league is basically, but Skyler needs to improve decision making, but they all say that he play games and stuff. I know. I do self, and I'm a big cricket player. Well, was a big cricket player, but I can still play good cricket. And the thing is, he needs to. I don't want to say bring back the study clause, but say not with just wordly this from this hour to this hour study. And also in the off season, the whole offense and the coaching staff, they need to get together and talk these issues out, because I've a one small problem with Gannon's game attitude. This game wasn't just another game. This
Right.
was a big game.
Yep.
And in my experience, I have seen when those mentality comes to big games. My high school first team rugby team, they lost 2 games, and that was big games. So you need to treat big games like big games. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but in my own experience, it needs to be done. He needs to change his attitude on big games,
Yeah. That's
especially
fair.
now in this time we have left.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Appreciate you, Joel. Thank you so very much, brother. Have a great rest of your day, man. The
See you
thing is that,
again.
yeah, the thing is that I fear with the whole study clause thing. I mean, you can study as much as you possibly can, but I just think it's the inability to not be able to do it, right? I don't think you can replicate, like, even if you're watching film, I don't think you can replicate the amount of panic that goes into the mind of Kyler Murray when he sees these big bodies. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, right? Obviously, there's a reason why I don't play quarterback in the NFL. Obviously, I can't do it, and there's a reason why I talk about it and not play it. But I don't think you can replicate. I don't think you can come out here and look at the film and say, "Oh, you can't teach it. You either have it, you either have poise, or you don't have poise." Kyler Murray doesn't have it. He panics. He sees it. He panics. He does this little thing that takes a second, and it completely throws everything off. This offense needs to be so critical down to the last second that Kyler Murray can panic and do something small, throws away the whole game plan, throws away the whole play. And that's what people aren't understanding. Kyler Murray is not a poised quarterback. It's all about timing. And like I said, it's just not there. It's not there. Let's get over here with Jesus. Jesus, you are live on the Easy Sports Fan here on YouTube. Talk to me, Jesus. How are you feeling about the Arizona Cardinals?
Hey, Mike. Well, I mean, you said enough about Kyler. I'm not even going to waste time on that. But my thing is more on. Well, I wanted to get your view of why don't you think Gannon should be more in question about is he the right guy? And the reason why I say that is because everybody likes to compare, or we used to say, well, this could be like the Lions. You saw what happened there.
Yep.
No, by this point, the Lions were starting their winning streak. They were starting to look good. They were going in the up direction.
Yeah.
This team looks like it's going on the opposite direction.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I don't have faith in Gannon. I honestly think he got lucky for the Super Bowl run he got, but that's just my opinion. But I wanted to get your opinion on why you think he should not be questioned.
That's a great question. Honestly, right now, to me, it almost just kind of feels like it's just too early. I feel like it wouldn't be fair. Like, although we knew Steve Wilkes wasn't the guy from the get, and we had a better team at that very moment. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it's way too early, and I don't know, man. I almost kind of feel like it's not his fault at the same time. And it might be just wishful thinking. He might get fired next year. We don't know. It's just I'm done with giving the performance of Kyler Murray and allowing everybody else to get the chop for it, right? So, but I mean, if you do that, then you rip it off like a bandit and completely start over fresh. I mean, I don't see any problem with that, but I don't know. I just don't see the Cardinals doing that. I think they like the culture that's being established right now, and I think they like the direction in terms of what Jonathan Gannon's building culturally wise. That's just the way it is. I get it. It's all politically correct mumbo jumbo, right? But if he goes, I don't lose sleep at the end of the day. But I don't know. I want to see what he can do without Kyler, honestly. But great question, though. Appreciate you, Jesus. I'm going to go ahead and bring in Khalil. Thank you so very much, Khalil. You are live on the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. Talk to me, man. How you feeling about the Cardinals?
Hello.
What's up, man?
I don't think yesterday's loss, it was bad, but I feel like everybody overreacting because I know we could have made the playoffs this year, but beginning of the year we all said like we know we weren't ready for the playoffs, but I know we had the chance this year. So beginning of the year, everybody said we should have at least 8 or 9 games just to show that we can win games.
Mhm.
So I know Kyler has played bad these last 3 games, but I think Kyler can still be our guy because the beginning of the year, we all thought the offense was going to carry and win these games, and then the defense was going to let us down, but it's the opposite.
Yeah.
So the defense has been carrying, but the offense has let us down. So I think Kyler has played bad, but I think I will put it mostly on Drew Petzing because the fact that we can't get receivers the ball is that scam. I know Cliff Kingsbury was not good at play calling either, but what could D-Hop do that Marvin's not doing? D-Hop, everybody got mad that D-Hop only played one side of the field and that we didn't move him around. But D-Hop used to run those 10-yard out routes every time, quick 10 yards every time right there. So, I mean, if we could get Marvin on an out route, something simple like that, get him going, then we could put him deep or something like that. That'd be way better than what we're doing right now because he's just getting, 3 catches, 40 yards, 4 catches, 40 yards. So, I mean, the touchdowns are there, but I'd rather James Conner just punching those touchdowns in the goal line and Marvin get the 100 yards. So, I mean, Kyler has played bad, yes, but I wouldn't say that Kyler is not the guy anymore because, I mean, even our concepts, like, we don't run a lot of flood concepts. We don't run a lot of just quick sticks. Like, and then the difference between us and other teams, on 2nd and 19, we're running the ball, just giving up possession.
True.
On 2nd and 19, the Seahawks are throwing the ball, picks up a first down on that drive. So even if they score or not, they have more possession right there, chewing clock and doing stuff. So yeah, I'm still Kyler. I'm always gonna be with Kyler. Like, that's my quarterback. I'll never say he's not our franchise quarterback unless he just shows us something horrible. But
Right.
I mean, this year I wanted to make the playoffs. When I saw we were 6-4, I was like, we could do it. Even though we 6-7 now, our goal at the beginning of the year was 8 or 9 wins just to show that we can win. Now, whether if it was the offense carrying us or the defense carrying us, either way, we just wanted to show that we could win until we got those solidified people who can help us make a playoff run. So next year, once we should $100 million cap, we should bring in a lot of free agency talent. We should draft good like we've been doing every year. Next year, there's no excuses. Like, that's got to be at minimum first round playoffs. Like, no excuses after that.
So what happens if they don't? Because Kyler Murray hasn't won a big game yet.
If they don't, then I mean, obviously I can't say why we're not going to win the next year because it hasn't happened. But Kyler Murray, I'm not going to say Kyler because a lot of people are saying Kyler Murray doesn't have that clutch gene. Kyler Murray, to say he doesn't have the clutch gene is, I don't think that's correct because he does have 3 game-winning drives this year alone. So he does. I'm not gonna say he just doesn't have the clutch gene, but the big games where he's supposed to show up, like week 1, the pick 6, the 2 picks in Minnesota, like one was an arm punt and the other one was just we need the first down.
Mhm.
So I mean, obviously those are picks, but like those are like you need it type stuff. And then, but this week was bad, but. If it's Kyler, then, you obviously got to reassess because he has but even in the contract, I don't think we move off him. And, I mean, even if he does play bad, it's way harder to find. He's above average already, even if he does play bad sometimes, So it's harder to find a guy like Kyler in the draft or something like that than just looking, because some teams been looking for years. Panthers been looking since Cam Newton left. So, I mean, either way, he's above average. It's hard to find a good QB like that. So next year, if it's the offense,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, next year, if it's the offense still and Marvin still can't get it involved and the receivers can't go, Drew Petzing's got to go if he's not gone this year already. Because Nick Rollis and Jonathan Gaynor have been doing everything we needed this year. It's just Drew Petzing and getting the receiver. Like, Drew Petzing came from the Browns. He was a tight end coach. What could the Browns always do? They ran the ball with Nick Chubb great. and they could always get David Njoku the ball. But what couldn't they do? Amari Cooper couldn't get the ball. Amari Cooper's gone now. So I'm not going to say he copied the whole Brown scheme, but clearly, he's still – Brown struggled with receivers. We're struggling with receivers now. Drew, I like Drew. Well, I don't like him. He's all right. I think Drew should be the run game coordinator. Drew, we would do great things. He doesn't need to call the plays. Like, I'm not mad that if he stays so he can coordinate our run game. He can run the ball. We all know that. But passing and play calling, situational stuff like that, he needs the 4th and 1 on our 35 or something. We need to go for more stuff like that. I know we needed that, obviously, but even in points of the game where it's 7-7 or 14-14, we punt the ball on 4th and 2s from the 45-yard line. Or if we get that, we get more possession, we get a field goal or a touchdown that drive instead of just punting the ball. And I know our defense plays good, but we don't expect them to play good. Like, we have nobody except Buda Baker to the outside world. So
let me ask you this question, because I hear a lot. I love the positivity, I really do. Let me ask you this: do you think that this coaching staff trusts Kyler Murray to convert this? Because in Vikings game, for example, right? 3rd and 7, 3rd and 6, multiple times, and not just once, and we all banged our head. Drew Petzing, what the hell are you doing? What's going on? Do you think that they trust him? Obviously, I'm just throwing things on the wall and but do you think that they actually trust him? Because we're seeing Kyler Murray throwing up the middle with Ernest Jones there, and he says he saw him, he still threw it and made a bad decision. Now, yes, this is a bad game for Kyler Murray. That's the truth. Do you think that they actually have the faith that he can actually do it?
If when Kyler's on one, he's on one. Like that Rams game, he was on one. So if Kyler's on one and we're still not going for it now, I know he hasn't been on these past 3 weeks, but if he's on all season, we haven't went for it. So even when Kyler's on one, we still don't go for it. So whether you trust Kyler or not, I don't know why they wouldn't trust Kyler if he hasn't played horrible all season. Like, I know people do talk about the QBR and stuff like that, but he hasn't played bad all season, but he has 5 picks in 3 weeks. But before that, he had 3 picks to D linemen. So all 3 of his picks were all to 3 D linemen. So they weren't real picks. They were just unfortunate stuff that's happened. So, and he hasn't been bad throwing over the middle. Trey McBride over the middle has been good. So if we just get a good play call in, on 3rd down, we just run the ball to James Conner. I know he's a power back. He does that. But, I don't understand why every time it's crazy. Like, if we could do a play action boo right there, fake James Conner, Kyler will have a man over the top, a flat route, or his legs to use. But instead we just run the same inside zone play or outside stretch and just hope we get it. So I'm not gonna say they don't trust him, but I think they just try to play within the offensive system more than they trust Kyler Murray.
If Kyler Murray comes back, I don't think Drew should go anywhere. I'm going to be completely 110% honest. I know people are thinking that it's Drew. I don't think it is. I look at the film and I see here, and I'm not saying you don't, and I'm not sure you play sports, and that if you do, great. But honestly, I think at the end of the day, I think there's a bigger problem here personally. I think that there is plays to be made here when you're looking at the film. Now, obviously, split-second decision, things that need to be made with Kyler Murray, either going up in the pocket, stepping back, or even rolling out. I 100% agree with you. I don't know why we're not rolling out. I think you're 100% correct that there is fault to Drew Petzing. But if you win 8 games, they're both coming back. I'm not saying Kyler Murray shouldn't be the quarterback in 2025 personally. I just want to get a damn contingency plan. At least think of something to say, hey, if there's something, because we're not all talking about, I'm not wishing any ill will on anybody, but we also can't forget injury history from Kyler. Let's say Kyler Murray is on one for 3 or 4 games and then he gets hurt. Then we're completely down the drain with Clayton too. And that's not okay. I think where my mind is I just want us to start thinking of the future. Me and you, we differ. I don't think Kyler's going to win the Super Bowl. You might think that he is. I don't think he's going to, but I do want a contingency plan for this front office to start looking forward. But this is a great call. Thanks, bro. I really do appreciate you coming on here.
I got you.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm just trying to keep it positive, hopefully.
No, I love it, brother. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man.
I got you.
Later, man. Peace. Great call, dude. No, that's a great call. Honestly, here's the thing. Please, anybody, do never feel like if you have a different opinion, come on in. I want to hear it. I want to hear what you guys have to say. And honestly, this is a great call. I think this was a very well intelligent young man that's coming here and is backing his quarterback, and I freaking love it. Good job, man. Thanks, Khalil, for jumping on. I absolutely do appreciate it. But yeah, I'm speaking in ifs too, right? I'm speaking in ifs too, and that's the truth, right? And I kind of put him in a very uncomfortable topic. I was like, do you think they trust him, or do you think this? Right? I'm speaking in a lot of ifs. But I don't know. It's hard for me to gather my thoughts to say I have faith and I have hope for 2025. I'm sorry. I think I've seen a long enough sample size to say, man, it's put up or shut up now. It's put up or shut up. If you don't sweep these next 2 games, how do we have faith moving forward? Because if you do beat these guys, congratulations, you beat rebuilding teams. But at the other hand, you do have 8 games in the long run. If you win one of these next 4 games, then we're consistently talking about the same thing over and over again. And Kyler Murray he can't win those games, right? He can't win those games. These next 2 games coming our way are winnable games. And I hate saying this. I really do, because at the end of the day, I don't know what winnable games are anymore for this Arizona Cardinals organization, but great conversation overall. Let's go on to next week. Let's see exactly what happens here. I want to be very clear. I'm not trying to get rid of Kyler Murray for 2025. I just want a contingency plan. I just wanted to see this front office say, hey, there's a little bit of a concern here. Let's see if we could spend a 3rd round, 4th round pick on a potential quarterback that was a potential 1st round pick at one point that's not looking so good. Maybe we can throw in a 3rd or 4th round pick that way and see if we can bring in another quarterback for potential. Maybe he can be the guy for us, right? And if not, I know a lot of same people that are backing Kyler Murray also do want to get Archie Manning as well. So get the pie and eat it too, ladies and gentlemen. But we're going to be closing up shop here. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I want to give a huge shout out here to obviously the sponsors of the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. That's going to be BetUS. If you're looking for a brand new sportsbook, BetUS is the way to go. Currently, right now, if you use promo code YouTube150, they will provide you with a 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit and a 125% sign-up bonus on the following two. That's going to be using promo code YouTube150 upon signing up. Of course, bet responsibly and bet within your means. But ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. Everybody for jumping on the calls, everybody that super chatted, everybody that smacked the like button. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. You guys make this show the way that it is. Let's see what happens in this next 4 weeks. It's not over mathematically, but there's a lot of Cardinal fans that feel like this season is cooked. Stick the fork in us. We are done. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, go Cardinals.